I'm sure, as most of you know, because it happened earlier today, is that DeAndre Baker's charges were dropped. So, first off, I want to say I'm happy for him. He's like 23. I think it was 22 when this all happened. Very happy for him that this is like not the basically end of his NFL career. He gets to live his life, and he's not. It's scary because apparently, based on what his attorney or lawyer, whatever the hell it was saying, I don't really know law stuff, so don't really hold me to that. But the guy defending him basically was saying that Baker really didn't do anything wrong. He basically went over to that place, to the house they were hanging out at, just to play Madden. And then I guess some guys were in a card game. I don't even know if Baker was in the card game, but apparently the four guys that were basically in the wrong here, they try to do this all the time, apparently. They basically try to hang out with young athletes that have money to try and take their money away from them, and not like illegally take it away, but take it away in card games and gambling and stuff like that. So, DeAndre Baker really did nothing. And it's kind of crazy how this all turned out. Now, my first reaction to it is I'm happy for the guy. I'm definitely excited for him, and you don't want to see a guy rot in jail. Like, that's, if you're one of those people that said, "Oh, screw DeAndre Baker, I hope he rots in jail," then I don't agree with that. I'm happy that he's free and gets to now go play in the NFL once again. But the main question here will be, did the Giants give up too early on DeAndre Baker? Because as we know, he won on the commissioner's list. He was not taking up a roster spot, but the Giants decided to just release him and just cut him. And now the Giants basically are in a dead cap situation with him. It's not too much money. I have it written down here somewhere. $4 million this year dead cap. Then next year is $2.8 million. It's 4.7 this year, 2.8 next year. So DeAndre Baker will be on the cap next year, but not for a lot of money. So it's not the worst thing in the world. But the question will be, did the Giants give up too early? I don't know. I mean, that's a wait and see. I mean, Joe Judge, what he wants to do here is build a culture, and I do hate that C word, and we've heard it too much, but he wants guys that don't come with distractions. We saw, when Golden Tate tried to have a distraction, we saw what happened right there with that. He made Golden Tate come out and apologize to his teammates, basically, and basically sat him for a game and put him on the scout team. He was not putting up with a bunch of crap from him, and, same thing with DeAndre Baker. He didn't play to a level last year as a rookie where you're like, oh, we cannot afford to lose this guy. He was expendable. And, DeAndre Baker made I don't want to say a poor decision, but sometimes you got to know who you're hanging out with. And it seemed like in that situation, he hung out with a few guys that were up to no good. Sounds like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song, but a few guys that were up to no good, and it turned out to be not a good situation for him. And, as I said, it's fine for him now. He's a free agent. He'll get to sign and go where he wants to go. And I don't think the NFL will suspend him. I have it written down for one of the topic points here, but I really don't think the NFL will suspend him. There's really no reason to. The guy apparently did nothing wrong. His charges were dropped. Like, what are we going to suspend him for? I think Quentin Dunbar, who was with him on that night, was basically playing every game so far this year. I don't think he was suspended, so no reason to suspend DeAndre Baker. So Ralph Vacchiano said there's, quote-unquote, there's no chance that the Giants re-sign DeAndre Baker, and Joe Judge in an ESPN article had some quotes about him as well, and basically it was just this: we wish him the best of luck in the future. We've made a decision that we think is best for the program. That is all I have to say about that. So Joe Judge, pretty dismissive of the DeAndre Baker situation. Seems like it's not going to happen for the Giants, and you know what? I know some people want to bring him back and things like that, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. You did what you had to do. They released him, and, they basically cut ties. And, it's another reason why I think Joe Judge has more say than Gettleman currently, because if this was completely up to Gettleman, do you really think they would have cut a guy he traded multiple picks to get in the draft a couple years prior, or even a year prior? I don't think so. I think this was more of a Joe Judge thing. He didn't want him on the roster, didn't want the distraction. He was gone. Now gets to come back and play for another team. So, that will be the question, and I want you guys to comment this as well. Do you think the Giants gave up on DeAndre Baker too soon? I'll read those comments. I won't respond to all of them, but I'll read all of them. But, I went over, will he be suspended? Ralph Vacchiano, eligible to join another. And basically, what I meant to say is before, like the lawyer against Baker, now once again, I don't know law terms, but the guy that was defending the other four guys that were basically trying to take the money from him was arrested for extortion. I think extortion is basically like when you're trying to just take money or some type of valuable thing from somebody. Like, I don't know the exact definition. You can Google that, but extortion is not a good thing. So The guy was arrested for defending those guys, which is good to see because they were trying to screw over Baker, obviously. So I'm happy for him. And the last thing I have is where could he land? Now I didn't write any teams down, but I guess off the top of my head there could be a few destinations for him. I think the Kansas City Chiefs might make sense. Maybe the Green Bay Packers. They don't really have a lockdown guy aside from Jair Alexander. So it doesn't have to be a playoff team either. That's like the misconception. It doesn't have to be a playoff team, although it would help him probably. But Baker can go anywhere. He's 23. He can sign a nice 2-3 year deal with a team and can kind of just start his career somewhere else. So he might want to go to a team that's close to home, the best environment for him. If he went to Georgia, I don't know if he's close to the Atlanta Falcons or not. Like, I don't know where his home is actually. He was in Florida when this incident happened, so maybe he goes to the Jaguars or some random team. I have no idea. But I think he'll be in play for just about every team in the NFL, just not the Giants. It seems like Joe Judge doesn't want anything to do with this situation. It seems like DeAndre Baker wanted to come back. His quote was that he wants to come back and play for this team. But it seems like the Giants front office, specifically Joe Judge, based on his quotes, doesn't want him back. So we know Gettleman hasn't came out and said anything about this yet. He probably did in the past, but not recently, not today or anything like that. So I don't know how he personally feels about it, but Joe Judge says he wishes him the best in the future, and that's pretty much it. So I don't see him coming back to the Giants. But, if he went on to another team and had a good NFL career or a great NFL career, it would suck, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite about it. I'm going to say the Giants probably made the right choice. You don't want that distraction. I will say, the video's still out there. I don't go back and delay videos. My favorite pick of that 2019 draft was DeAndre Baker. I thought he had the most upside. He plays a very important position at cornerback, and, I thought he could be a good player, but unfortunately it did not happen. So I do wish him the best of luck. I will not root against him, but, happy he gets basically not sent to jail or prison for a while. I'm happy for him in that regard, but his future in the NFL will not be with the Giants, it seems like. So it could be a good or bad thing if he plays well. Probably not a good thing for the Giants, but if he plays bad, then I guess the Giants made the right move. So we'll see how this plays out in the future. You won't be able to know right now, but let me know in the comments once again, do you think DeAndre Baker or the Giants gave up on DeAndre Baker too quick? Should they have let this situation play out more and kept him on that rookie contract? I'll hear from you guys, but thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.